Welcome to Budget Beauty, where I help you look flawless for less. Welcome back, and a very special welcome if you're new here. My name is Jen, and this is Budget Beauty. We do everything beauty on a budget, and that includes testing out new palettes. Now, I am really excited for today's video. This is an indie brand that I have absolutely fallen in love with. Everything I've purchased from them has been incredible, and they released their spooky season Halloween palette. Hence the cute little boo headband. You'll be seeing this a lot throughout spooky season, and that is Gourmande Girl's collaboration with Doodles by the Bunny and the Haunted palette. As soon as this was released, I knew that I had to have it. I love everything about this palette. I'm going to show you the inside and swatches, but before I do, if you're excited, give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not, turn your bell on because I upload lots and lots of new videos every single week. I do have a makeup tutorial playlist. I do a lot of tutorials here on my channel. So if you want to see different makeup looks, different tutorials, definitely check out that playlist. I will link the Haunted palette down below for you with a discount, as well as all of my favorite beauty boxes. All of the other makeup that I'll be wearing in today's video if you would like to recreate the entire look, and come follow me over on TikTok for a little bit more beauty on a budget. Let's jump in to the Gourmande Girls Haunted palette. So as promised, I am going to show you close-ups of the palette. Now the packaging, absolutely adorable. Doodles by the Bunny is so incredibly creative. She designed the outer packaging. I love the cute ghost and the haunted in pink. And the inside of it does have a mirror and this color story. I mean, this color story is everything my heart wants for Halloween. There are so many great grungy tones in here that are perfect for fall. We've got all the quintessential Halloween colors, greens, purples, yellows, really beautiful shimmer shades. This palette swatched beautifully. The mattes were buttery soft, very buildable, very opaque. The shimmers, I mean, the Gourmande Girl shimmers are always a 10 out of 10, and these definitely didn't disappoint swatch-wise. We have some of those wet foiled shimmers, and then we have a little bit of those lighter, looser shimmers that are more like toppers. I am going to use as many of the colors in this palette as possible for today's look because I can't wait to put this on my eyes. Again, I will link the Haunted palette down below with a discount code for you. Let me zoom you in and let's get started. As always, I am going to prime my eyes with my MAC Paint Pot and Painterly. I love a good eyeshadow primer. It keeps my shadow in place all day, prevents creasing, and really brings out the true color. Now, I did just get home from boot camp. If you didn't know, I live in Arizona and we work out outside year round, and my boot camp is at 5 a.m. So I actually just got home. I'm getting ready for the day. I have a busy day today of grocery shopping, and then we are going to dinner with my in-laws. So I wanted to use this palette knowing that I would most likely have the most beautiful look for today. So for me, this is where it's hard because I want to use the yellows, I want to use the greens, I want to use the purples, the pinks, I want to use everything in the palette, but I only have two eyes and I want my eyes to match. So that limits the shades that I can use. But like I said, I'm really going to focus on getting in as many of these colors as possible. I'm going to start with this kind of grungy yellow shade called Obsessed. I don't know if you noticed in the close-up embossings in these pans are so cute. This one has a little witch's hat. So I'm going to pick that up with a fluffy brush, and I actually want to use that as a transition just to kind of start my look. I do have hooded eyes, so I am going to put that in the crease, but I'm also going to bring that up above the crease a little bit. That way when my eyes are open with the completed look, we'll be able to see this pretty yellow shade. This is really pretty. It is kind of a mustard yellow more than a bright yellow. That's why I chose this one over the other yellow in the palette, which is a little bit more of an orangey yellow, like a sunflower yellow. I wanted to pull in some grunge in this look. This is going on really easily. It's blending out really easily. The color is nice and opaque, especially for a yellow. So I'm just, again, tapping that in the crease and blending that out just above the crease. And then we have two really grungy greens in this palette. We've got this kind of green, we've got this green here and this green here. This one is a little bit more of that deeper olive, and this one is a little bit more of like that baby poop green. So I'm feeling like for the crease, now I'm going to pick up the more olive leaning green, the more baby poop leaning green. And that is the shade Hooray. It has a coffin imprinted in the pan. Again, such a nice touch. And with that shade, I am going to tap, 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 tap. Ooh, I love it. And I'm going to just keep that in the crease, not going above the crease at all, because I do want to see that pop of yellow still. And using a windshield wiper motion, just go back and forth and buff that into the crease. And that was one tap into the palette, and that's all I need. Absolutely a beautiful color. Again, tap, 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 and that windshield wiper motion. And then quickly back into that yellow shade that we used for the crease. And I'm just going to use that essentially to buff those edges. I just want to make sure that we can still see that really pretty yellow popping above that grungy green. Now to deepen up the outer corner, my initial thought was the black, but I think I want to bring in a little bit more color. So I'm going to pick up the burgundy looking shade in the palette, and that is the shade Supernatural. And I'm going to pick that up on a dense, fluffy brush, and I'm going to focus that on the outer corner. God, that is so pretty. Very pigmented, and look at that. One tap in, it is layering perfect over those other two mattes. I really like this shade too. It's a burgundy kind of purple leaning shade with a hint of brown. I really like it. It's definitely Halloween-like, and it is unique to my collection. And then using that same fluffy brush that we used for our crease, no added shadow, I'm just going to take that and do a quick initial blend on the outer edges. And then I think just for fun, let's go into the black matte and just focus that on the very, very outer corner. That is the shade Trouble. Now, when I swatched this black shade, it has a little bit of a brown and purple base to it, which I like. It's definitely something different than just your traditional black matte, and it ties in really good with the palette, with the burgundies and the purples in the palette, and that is exactly what I wanted. So I just focused that on the very outer corner, and again, just a quick little blend. As always, I'm using my NYX glitter primer. I'm going to tap that on my lid. I always use a glitter primer with shimmers, especially these wet indie foiled shimmers that are gorgeous, like the ones from Gourmande Girls. And I'm going to tap, 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 and then we'll apply some shimmer. Now, as always, I want to apply a shimmer with my finger and a brush so I can show you application if you can apply these shimmers with both methods. Everybody has a different way of applying their eyeshadow, so I want to see if Gourmande Girls can be applied in both ways. So the first shimmer I want to use is this shade here. I love how shifty it is from purple to blue to brown. This is the shade Affection, and I'm going to pick that up on a finger. Look how pretty that is. Look how shifty and beautiful that is. And I'm going to focus that on the outer half of my lid. Whoa. Wow. That is so beautiful. Wow, look at that. It is so pretty, and it is very, very buildable. So I just tapped back in and I was able to get a little bit more opacity. I mean, shish, you can see that from space. And then tap that on the other eye. It's applying beautifully with the finger. Absolutely beautifully. And then the other shimmer that immediately I went, when I opened the palette, is this chartreuse shimmer called Unearthly. And I'm going to pick that up on a brush, and we're going to focus that on the inner portion of my lid. So that'll tell us whether or not we can apply these shimmers with both a brush or a finger. And again, just putting that right here. Oh, wow. These shimmers are absolutely stunning. I love this green. It gives me Ghostbusters slime, Halloween vibes. It is everything I need in a chartreuse shimmer. And I'm just going to pull that over into that first shimmer just a little bit. It is picking up and applying beautifully with a brush. So with these shimmers, you can do a brush or a finger. I also love this green shimmer shade right here. It was hard for me to decide what I wanted to do, but I think for my lower lash line, because I do want to tie in a little bit more of the purple, I'm going to pick up the purple matte called Bewitched. I love a good purple, and I always tell you purples are a little hard to formulate. This one swatched beautifully, and I'm going to actually buff that on my lower lash line. That is so pretty. Oh my goodness, that is so beautiful. I really want to use this green shimmer eke right here. So I'm going to also pick that up on this dense pencil brush, and I'm going to also buff that on my lower lash line with that purple. Again, bringing in a little bit more green like we have on our inner corner. Oh yes. Whew, look at that green shade. That is a stunning shimmer. I want to just pop that all over my lid. And for an inner corner highlight, let's go with this shimmer called Jinxed. It's kind of a pink purple shimmer, and I think that's going to pair beautifully with our little bit more burgundy outer corner and all of the other purples. Ooh, yeah, that even has a bit of a kind of blue shift to it. Oh, that is so beautiful. That would be really pretty on the inner portion of your lid as well. So you can see that I do have a little bit of shimmer fallout on my nose. No big deal. I've already set my face. I'll just wipe that away. But quickly, here is the look. I'm going to do a liner, mascara, and maybe even some false lashes. And I'll be back to share with you the final look. And then we'll go over my thoughts on the Gourmande Girls X Doodles by the Bunny Haunted Palette. So I am ready for the day, and I am ready to share my final thoughts on the Gourmande Girls X Doodles by the Bunny Haunted Palette. You guys, this is absolutely fantastic. Everything about this palette is fantastic. The color story, the mattes, the shimmers. I mean, these shimmers on my eyes, you can see them from miles away. Every shimmer applied beautifully with the finger, beautifully with the brush. The mattes, not patchy at all, easily buildable, very, very opaque. And I mean, the outer corner, I have 4 mattes layered, and it's perfection. Love it. I absolutely love this palette. I love as well how small this is. It is nice and skinny, which makes it very, very easy for storage. Last year, they released their Spooked palette that was this same size. So I like that they stick with this same aesthetic. Again, really easy for storage. Love that there's a mirror in the palette if you want to take it for travel. And if you just want a beautiful Halloween palette, fall palette, really truly everyday palette, there's neutrals in here as well. I think the Gourmande Girls Haunted Palette is an excellent choice. You're also supporting a small woman-owned indie brand. So highly, highly recommend. Can't recommend it enough. So happy I have this in my collection. And again, I will link it down below with a discount. So take advantage of the discount code as well. Let me know your thoughts on my look. Are you picking up the palette? And if you enjoyed the video, give it a big thumbs up, subscribe, turn your bell on, because I upload lots and lots of new content every single week. In addition to the palette, in the description box, I will also link my favorite beauty boxes, all of the other makeup that I'm wearing today if you would like to recreate this look, and come follow me on TikTok for a little bit more beauty on a budget. Happy spooky season, happy Halloween, and the Haunted Palette is just the first of many in my collection.